Hi everyone, welcome to the workshop. I've been building this wardrobe behind me. This is half of a wardrobe that goes with another half wardrobe that's already being used upstairs in the bedroom. And I've been French polishing this, so I've been using this product. Others are available, I'm sure, but not many. And I've come to do the panel, which is on the end here. What I've found is that there's a bit of a groove where this sort of butterfly type panel is put together. There was obviously a bit of shrinkage on there, and I want to fill that with some wax. So I'm going to just go through the process of putting some wax in and finishing it off. I'll show you how that's done. So first things first, here's the wax. I've got a box full of different coloured waxes. So there's some that are similar in colour. I can see that this one's been used before, probably on the doors the other side. I think I used it before. And in here I've also got some little plastic spatula tools. So these are nice and flexible, not too sharp, so they're not too hard, so they'll bend to allow the spatula to smooth it in without damaging the wood. Right, I've just washed my hands and I've just heated the end of this wax stick in front of my heater. And what I'm going to try and do now is just take some of it and just push it into the gap. And I'm going to work my way along, just pushing more and more in until I've filled this gap. This looks quite a crude process, but as long as we're getting it into that gap, and we can then take it off flat, we can let it sort of harden off, and we can then sand it lightly and put the shellac finish that I've been putting everywhere else. I can then put that over it, and it should blend. You can see this is already going from a sort of dark strip to a lighter one. The colour on this is slightly lighter than it needs to be. It's actually better to match these lighter parts than the darker. You can obviously melt this and blend it with a darker one if you wanted a different tint, or there are different ones that I've got in that box there. This one I'm fairly confident is about as close as I'm going to get, and by the time I finish, this is going to be so small and insignificant, hopefully it won't notice very much. So there we go. I'll just keep going with that. So there we go. That's now kind of filled, and there's a bit of excess on there. This is some fairly light grade paper. I've already sanded this previously, but just going over it again lightly now to take off any excess. There we go. So that's nice. Here's the next one. So this is a butterfly board, so you can see the two knots here. This is the center line. This time it's going to be a sort of chocolate coloured wax. I've heated it on my heater, and I'm just going to push it into the hole here just to fill it, because it's not a very nice hole. It'll look better if it's filled. So I'm just going to squish that in there while it's nice and soft. Get it in there nice and hard. There we go. See if I can leave the excess on the stick. So don't want to waste it. Bit of an indent above it that's a lighter colour. So ideally we'll get something that's sort of more this sort of colour into it. like so. Now, with a bit of cooling, oh, while it is cooling, by the way, these are wax filler sticks by Wax. I'm sure there are others available, but they're pretty good. Nice selection of different colours. You can get different sort of shades of brown, or you can get different sort of primary colours. Okay, so we let the wax cool. Get the old block out again. And what we're left with is a flat surface that's obviously got a slight variance on it, as you can see. But when that's shellac, it'll all blend in rather nicely. I think that's what I'm going to do next. Right, I've just put some of this shellac polish into a small glass, and I'm going to use a brush to put this on, as I have everywhere else, and then I'll use a pad to just make sure it's spread and buffed. I'll do this panel so that you can see how that knot blends following what I did with the wax, which hopefully it will rather nicely. So we'll get a fair amount of this on here. Trying to get it fairly even, but obviously that's what the pad's all about. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. It smells wonderful, this stuff. I think it's probably because it's got alcohol in it. Anything with alcohol in it smells wonderful to me. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. So there we go. I've been fairly quick with this, deliberately. Just get this pad and just run this all over. Take some of it off. Anyway, you get the idea. This is now blending in. It isn't a hole. From a if you get up close, you can see that it's it's the same colour. It's mixed in to make it more sort of natural and grain-like. You'd have to put rivulets of darker in it or something. We're not going to do that. It is just filling a hole. It's making it flat. It does the job. It's pretty good. Any imperfections are part of the natural beauty of the product. Anyway, I hope that was useful. Put some comments in the chat if it was, and I'll reply to them. And yeah, thank you for watching. Have a great day. Cheers, guys.